Hi, I'm Brian Maskell, President of BMA Inc., and the purpose of this diagram is to show you how to use the weekly value stream performance measurement boards and the continuous improvement projects that come out of them. The beginning of this closed loop diagram is at the top, the operations. Now you might be making product or providing services or other kind of activities that create value for the customer. In a lean organization though, we will not be pushing this based on a plan, on a forecast. It will be pulled directly from the customer's needs. Now this doesn't mean that we make exactly the items and quantities that the customer calls for this week. We might well buffer the process with a small amount of finished goods in a supermarket, and the pull will then replenish the supermarket using Kanban cards or something similar. Now this will enable us then to have an orderly and consistent operation and yet still meet the customer's immediate needs. At the end of the week, we update the performance measurement charts and they're posted onto our value stream performance improvement board. Now these will be 5, 6, 7 key measures, and this would include operational information like did we ship on time or how was the quality this week, but also will include some financial information like the average cost of the products, and there'll be an income statement showing the financial results. Now this is what we call a plain English income statement because it's designed so that everybody in the company can immediately understand it. There's not any of the complicated accounting gobbledygook, just plain straightforward information, and this is posted on the board each week. Now measurements on a board don't really tell us very much. They'll make us happy or sad perhaps, did we achieve the goals or not this week, but it doesn't give us very much information. What we really need to know is what are the causes of the results. And to do that, we have to have some information about what's happening in our processes and why we're not achieving 100% of our goals. Now, this is usually done with some kind of Pareto chart that shows us what are the issues that are causing us to miss the mark, which of those issues occur most often, and which cause the most disruption and waste. These Pareto charts are generally accumulated over a 12 or 13 week span so that we have a good idea of what are the problems that are occurring in our processes. So we now have our key measurements and we have the Pareto charts that show us the reasons why we're not achieving 100% perfect results. Measurements and Pareto charts on the board still don't get us very far. What's really important is what do we have to do to improve the process, eliminate the problems continuously and systematically. Now this is where the continuous improvement projects and Kaizen events come in. A Kaizen event is usually a 5-day process where you work together, maybe 8, 10 or 12 people, and they work using a standard problem-solving method, and before the week's out they've implemented some significant changes to improve the process, improve the flow, and improve the measurements. Now another kind of improvement event wouldn't be a whole week. You'd still have a cross-functional team of 5 or 8 people, and they'd work together for maybe 6 or 8 weeks with a couple of 90-minute meetings every week. And they would go through the same kind of problem solving and improvement steps, but complete the work over a period of time. Now this brings us back to the weekly value stream improvement board. The board has to have at least 3 levels. One would be the performance measurements. What did we achieve this week operationally and financially? The second is the Pareto chart showing the reasons why we came short on our goals. But we would also need on the board a way to track the improvement projects that we're working on to solve the problems and improve the performance. Now this is continuous improvement, and that means we're going to have improvement projects working all the time. Now you may decide that within your value stream, with the number of people you've got and all the other things that are going on, that we can have, say, 5 improvement projects going on at any one time. Now, if that's 5 or 3 or 10, whatever number you think you have the resources to support, then the performance measurement board would show the number of projects you're working on, and most of the time in the weekly meeting is spent addressing these improvement projects. We need to know if we're making the right amount of progress on the projects week by week. So this completes the loop, the famous plan, do, check, act loop. The plan is what products we need to make or services we need to provide. The do is to make the products or provide the services. The check is the weekly value stream improvement board and the Pareto charts. The act is the improvement projects that we're working on and their impact on the value stream performance. Now, many companies, when they first start using weekly value stream boards, have their meetings where they just talk about what happened this week. The meeting needs to be more tightly agendaed than that. What do we need to know about the problems that occurred this week? Well, we need to understand them, but 2/3 of the meeting must be spent focused on the current improvement projects that we're working on and what new projects we plan to initiate. And the key to this is continuous improvement. That we have improvement events going on constantly throughout the weeks, and the value stream performance is continuously getting better and better through this continuous improvement process.